Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the human revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a parallax engineer has blurred the line even further. And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
Okay, so hopefully that's better. Let's see. Test 1, 2, 3. Boop, boop, boop. No, it's a little too loud. Let's try that. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. And was my voice too loud? Wee wee wee. Okay, I think this is fine now. Okay. I can use my touchpad. Let's talk to door. drink coffee. You take a sip of old stale coffee. The letters F and K seem clear as day. It's also really gross. Looking pretty hot there, Lappy. Like literally hot. Overheating, as usual. Careful, the poor thing is more fragile than a snowflake. Most people write a talk on paper. You just talk to paper. Blank paper. Headphones. Yay! These are the GX Ultra Beats you have to do a product review on. They're smart headphones, so you should be able to use them with some things laying around your apartment. You can hear the sink gurgling high def. You sync up the headphones, listen to a live stream of a cooking show about making ramen using household items. Fortunately, you learned that mustard and spoiled milk aren't quite enough to make a good ramen. Talk! There should be enough testing for a headphones review. Your accountability remains intact right away. Okay. Maybe going digital would be a good goal. No, your principal's lying too much at the thought. Would Hemingway go full digital if he were in 2064? Probably. Lappy's a bit of a relic. Better finish before bed, okay? Alright, time to get workout out of the way. Let's do this. Selling your soul bit by bit. Character by character. Oh my gosh. Finished. Now send it off to the editor. There. Your big break. Surely your glowing review of GX Ultra Beats is your ticket out of poverty and into a book deal, surely. Work is finally out of the way. Time for bed. Or you can read some OK Today and catch up on some news before you sleep. The most beloved morning show about news and entertainment. People in the Oklahoma are still confused by the name. This is the show's online newspaper called The Scan Line. OK Today is usually all about feel-good news, but it does focus on serious current events at times as well.
Good, you're finally awake. I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. It seems rather inconvenient. Are you significantly opposed to cybernetic augments?
How did you get into my apartment?
I came in through the door, of course. The cryptographic cryptographic algorithms it uses are actually quite atrocious. It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code. It looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the Sakugate M/14723-B.
Okay.
Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced likely numeric combinations against the stored personal data on you. I'm not certain why you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it would be sufficiently obscure to defeat most casual attempts to enter. Frankly, I felt a little silly that I took the time to do all that once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken. And that you left it open. Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt head I am not equipped to remove.
Proprietary.
I took the liberty of filing a maintenance request with your building superintendent. Considering the speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 working days to complete the repair.
Okay.
Not quite to my standards. Oh, I hope you don't mind. While you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC. Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro-actuators, so I took the liberty of cleaning the place up a bit. As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of a snag.
A snag?
Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have had a critical failure while I was attempting to remove some particularly nasty malware. An electrical surge caused significant damage to several other components as well. I would consider it no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with? Don't fret! I did manage to back up your data drive's contents on my storage before the crash. Additionally, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs. It is the least I can do.
That's nice, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous. I have all the necessary protocols, but I've never actually spoken to another person besides Hayden, until now.
Hayden. You know Hayden Lever?
Well, saying I know Hayden is putting it simply, but yes.
I haven't seen Hayden over a year. Where is he?
I don't really know. That's why I'm here. Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but you're certainly the most statistically supported.
Okay. What makes you believe that?
I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book. Based on the combined deductions of personal profile, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to both be able and willing to help me. And the one least likely to be suspected of doing so.
I never looked for a missing person, but I could try.
The numbers don't lie about your investigative skills, but I will admit your total lack of recent successes is worrisome.
Hey. We'll see about that.
Don't worry. If Hayden trusted you, I trust you. You're strong-willed and capable. If anything, it's worth trying for Hayden. Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some persons unknown to me. He seemed frightened, terrified even, and instructed me to escape. I crawled out of a window, and after some deliberation, hurried here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left.
Why would they want Hayden?
He is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has to do with me.
Who are you anyway? What do you have to do with it?
Excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I've never had the pleasure of doing so before. I am Turing. I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments. He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am a personal side project of his. Exploring true artificial sapience.
Wow.
It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an organization into kidnapping him. Either to stop his research, or to take it and use it for themselves.
Tell me more.
A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you talk to them. But they're just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I learned to interact with the world around me. But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance. Did he only program me with the illusion of free will?
How would you know, one way or the other?
How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question. How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will?
I think we're getting a little too philosophical here.
You're right. I apologize for the tangent.
Was anyone out for Hayden?
I don't know. I'm not certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. Admittedly, Hayden has become increasingly paranoid as of late, and has warned me to stay alert, but he would never specify anyone I should fear when I asked. It's not as though he has any obvious enemies. There are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills, but I can't imagine any of them would go as far as snatching him.
Well, then I guess we should get started.
Indeed, time is of the essence. I took the liberty of charging the AutoCAD fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived.
I can totally afford that. Lead the way. Hayden's apartment. Yay.
That's strange.
What?
Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock.
Perhaps a maintenance robot took care of it?
It's possible. Most of the repairs to the building are handled by the automated systems. At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Let's proceed carefully. Oh, a lucky break! It seems my access codes still work. Hayden's door has far better security than yours does.
Oh, thanks. You made your point about the door. Let's just head in. Doesn't look like there was much of a struggle.
I'm not surprised. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals. I doubt he could have fought off a serious assault. I should have stayed and tried to protect him.
Aren't you programmed against harming humans?
Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify. Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually.
Eventually.
I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to.
No. It would be fun to see you try.
I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you.
Okay.
It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage.
God, we're clear on that one.
Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense. But
What's done is done.
Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues.
Okay. A wrong component in Hayden's headset. He must have been in the middle of working on something. We gain the strength of temptation we resist. So you'll probably become a rad video game wizard now. Cool. Television's looping through some of Hayden's feeds. Tech banter, TED codes, tips, augmented eye. Cool. There are no buttons on the screen and there's no need to watch TV right now. Computer. The home mode, the standby screen has no melody. You swipe your ID card across the monitor. Loop. Okay, nothing happened.
That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform.
Do you know how to get in? There might be clues.
Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time.
Oh, of course you can't. That would be too easy.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. If you'd like to try your hand at digital breaking and entering, be my guest. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents.
Can't you just download the knowledge from the meshnet?
I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability.
Oh. Are you incapable of that kind of creative leap?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though.
Oh, thanks.
Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion.
Abstract art doesn't seem like something a robot would be good at.
That's true. Machines are best at reproduction. Still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel.
Let's get back to searching. Okay, it's getting late. I like this game, so I'm gonna keep playing it. So you'll probably see me stream this